this was the closest edge of the of this site. The site went in an angle. Everything was sort of backwards. You went around the loop backwards. You backed in and sort of backed out that way down. At the time, this used to be like a park. All this little stuff was gone. Anything smaller, anything a foot or so and down was not here. You got to realize it's been 34 years. So none of this small stuff here, only the larger trees are here. This is all open and groomed like a park. This was a luxury RV park. When we walk back in there a ways, you'll be able to see clearly the line between the natural forest and the groomed park area. You gotta realize they purposely came in here and destroyed it. There was power and water back here at every one of these sites, and right there is the old slab and foundation of the bathhouse. And right here, you can see there's concrete boxes in the ground where the valve boxes and everything for the water and all. And they had pumps and stuff in there. And we found an old piece of the copper power line there in the road yesterday. Carefully cross the ditch. Be careful, don't slip and fall. Watch out, if y'all are not familiar, this stuff here is called Devil's Walking Stick. And be careful, don't touch it, it's covered with spines. These RV sites were in the neighborhood of 75, 80 feet or more deep, so that you could back the largest big motor coach or the very largest fifth wheel with a large long wheelbase puller truck into here easily. And they were angled in here. The opening onto the road was right over there, and of course there's a bunch of wood and stuff stacked up there. But there were only two sites here. I don't think there was another site between here and the cemetery. And you can sort of see the opening in the trees here where it would have been easy to do. They have come in here. The sites were not concrete, they were gravel, crushed limestone. When I was here in 1990, that's when my friend brought me down here. In 1990, you could still kick around underneath here and find the crushed limestone under the leaves. Now, since I was here, they've been in here and they've dozed it you could still clearly see the sites. They've recontoured the land, but there's still lots of evidence in here of where everything was. Let's step back here. Stop. Yeah. Okay.
There's somebody be back in here walking around.
Don't knock it over. Don't do that. Yeah, leave it there. All right. Here's a pipe, a surveyor's pipe marking the back of the RV site. The gravel pad ended sort of right up here, and then it gave you overhang room and everything to the back. Now, also you'll notice that right along about here, the woods thicken up. Actually, just right on over here, you notice that there's a lot more varied size trees from back there.
Check a tree out and goes up. Yeah, it's cool.
Or they're relatively small. Now, of the RV was this way. But back then, even the luxury RV had manual level adjustment. You didn't have all the assistance that they have now. The man in the sun is the front, at the time, is the front of the RV. Dropping that way. The dog man came up out of this frog, right here. And I'll tell you why. It was late in the afternoon, late in the afternoon. He came up out of this frog. He came around the front corner of the RV. The man was down on his hands and knees, taking the jack. The booger, the dog man ran up behind him. He yanked his head off and both arms off instantly. And the reports vary.
You put your stuff on the internet? You put your stuff on the internet?
Most reports that I've heard, and what I've been able to, what my friend told me that he gleaned, he did not work here then, but he has talked to a number of the law enforcement officers that did. There is one of the officers that is very key in this, one of the first ones on the scene, that also says that both of his legs were pulled off too, that there was nothing left but just the trunk of his body and his limbs and his head had just been flung in different directions. The boy, when his father was a track, he ran around and tried to go in the side door of the RV. The dog man caught him just as he got the door open. Tore the boy apart. The boy's mother was inside the RV and the little sister was inside the RV. The dog man, after killing the boy, busted the woman tried to slam the door from the inside. He won. He broke through the screen door apart and he skinned him back in like a bad sheet. It was a hell of a fight. The inside, the whole main saloon area, that's what they call it in the coast, the whole main area was torn to shreds. They fought all over that place. There was blood and crap everywhere. And she tore all of her fingernails off and in some places tore the flesh away all the way down to the bone fighting this thing. And she put a tremendous fight. And anyway, he ended up killing her and just literally tearing her to shreds. The little girl had run into the back room where there was a queen-size bed and managed to close the door. It had either seen her go there or heard her back there crying. It tore the door open, which, you know, in a RV, they're just made out of thin plywood at the bed. Tore through that, got her, drug her outside. Don't know when he killed her or anything, but he drug her out here and he fed on her, and her body was found in this tree right here, this big white oak. This is where her body was found. Now, you see why she was 30 feet up in the tree?
That gun.
The lowest crotch there was 30 feet, but she was actually, you can read about it. Actually, he and another officer, they walked down here with their lights, with their flashlights, and they were shining down in here. And he was walking along just like this. And he got to just about right here. And he stopped and he was shining his light. Something, he was wearing one of those Smokey Bear hats. Something started dripping on the brim of his hat. And he looked up, and it was dripping on his face, and he looked around like this. The other officer was standing right here. He said, "Damn, you got blood all over you. Did you walk into something?" And he said, "No." He said, it dripped in my face. And they shined their lights up, and she was hanging in that crotch up there.
The first one?
She was hanging in one of the other of those right there on this side of the tree. I think that first one that's going out this way, possibly, or it could have been the one that's dead now. But she was hanging right up there in one of those crotches.
Good grief.
And that pretty much ended his career. He couldn't deal with it after that. And he still lives in the community. I know where he lives. He doesn't want to be contacted. He won't talk about it. Want him answer the phone if he doesn't know you.
They're still alive up there?
Now, take a while to fill out the cologne and everything at the time of the day when you do it. Anybody know what thermals are?
This is cool.
Thermals. It's vary by the time of day. Evening, when the sun goes down, during the day, the thermals are coming upslope and they go uphill. That's why gliders like to fly along the faces of slopes or over the top of hills. Right, not right. Naturally follows the slope uphill. In the evenings, when the sun goes down, or as the sun goes down, they reverse. They start coming down. It's a downdraft. They hit and they run down. All right. The woman and the man had lots of cologne on. What today would be considered way excessive amounts of cologne. And one of the things we have found is that dog men in particular do not like strong perfumey smells. And so the thermal is carrying that smell right straight down that draw. And that's where it came from. It was down there somewhere along the river. It smelled that, didn't like it. It came up here to see what the hell, and when it got here, it was already pissed off when it got here. And when it came around, there's one of the sources of it right there. He instantly, with no other provocation, tore into the guy. And he probably, I don't know if it knew that the woman and the other stuff were inside the thing or not. I don't know. But when the boy tried to get in and it chased him around here and it caught the boy, and the door was open and the woman was screaming and yelling, it may have gotten a whiff of her then and it went after her. But that's something that you won't find written about them hardly. But I'm 99.9% sure that all of the cologne and the perfume that they had on was ultimately what caused them to get attacked. And you know, that's just one of those things you don't know about. So
my man won't be in trouble.
You don't want to wear home perfume or cologne or anything like that, or aftershave.
I think I'm okay.
When you're out in dog. So, any questions?
Do you know if that tree was bowed over toward the white oak?
Which tree?
What is that little?
That little one there?
Yeah, the smaller
That little one wasn't even there.
Yeah. Okay.
You got to realize that's 34 years ago. That tree right there, if it was here, it was just a sapling. This was open in 1990. This was still very open when I was about here in China. And all, like that tree there behind you and all that you're leaning on, Tim, none of this was here. Mostly all of it here were these larger trees. And it had been all grown. It had been, from what I understand, it had been opened up to say grass growing, like bluegrass or something. But I don't know that for a fact. But this supposedly was the nicest RV park in all of LBL. Or certainly the nicest in the LBL. You can still see if you've got a pickup truck or maybe a good Subaru with off-road type tires, you could go down and around the loop and come up the other side, and you can see more of the RV pullouts down there in the hill. In fact, there's some of them down the hill that Mark says that if you get out and walk down to the back of them, that the power and water pedestals are still there. But I know all the ones up here on the top of the hill are gone. They've torn them out. When I was here in 1990, the place had been unused, had been closed for, in fact it was gated off then. And the place had been closed for, since the early 80s, So the power pedestal was still back here somewhere, but it was all rusty. It's obvious it hadn't been used in years.